10. Evident signs that there is an evil person next to you. Wisdom, life lessons. Not everyone shares your values or intentions. While we often hope for the best in people, it's crucial to stay vigilant because some individuals harbor harmful intentions. You might have come across someone who inflicts pain without guilt, preys on others' vulnerabilities, and manipulates situations for their gain. These malevolent behaviors can be so subtle that identifying them becomes challenging. They might undermine you, make you feel guilty, or speak ill of you behind your back. And surprisingly, this can come from not just outsiders, but even those within your inner circle. In today's video on Stoic in Your Life, we're diving deep into the 10 clear signs that reveal you're dealing with a malevolent person and how to handle such encounters. Remember, some people may support you, but not if it means surpassing them. Stay tuned to learn how to protect your peace and navigate these treacherous waters with wisdom. Number 1. Pleasure in others' pain. Recognizing an evil person in your midst is crucial for maintaining emotional well-being and protecting your inner peace. One of the most telling signs of such a person is their pleasure in others' pain. This pleasure manifests through a blatant lack of empathy and an unsettling enjoyment of others' misfortunes. Imagine a coworker who laughs at your setbacks, or a friend who makes light of your personal struggles. These individuals often reveal their true nature in moments when you are most vulnerable. Such behavior is not only a red flag, but also a clear indication of a character deeply rooted in negativity. Distancing yourself from these individuals is paramount for your mental and emotional health. In the words of Seneca, "He who does not prevent a crime when he can, encourages it." This ancient wisdom underscores the importance of recognizing and avoiding those who take pleasure in others' suffering. The sooner you identify these toxic traits, the quicker you can protect your well-being. Modern life demands that we remain vigilant about the company we keep, as our environments significantly influence our mental states. Empathy is a fundamental human trait, and its absence in someone close to you can lead to a detrimental impact on your peace of mind. People who find joy in others' pain are often masking their insecurities and failures. They project their inner turmoil onto others, finding solace in the suffering they observe. This behavior can be subtle, often disguised as humor or nonchalant comments, making it harder to identify. Yet the constant pattern of undermining others' happiness reveals their true intentions. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Aligning yourself with individuals who uplift rather than tear down is essential for cultivating a positive mental space. Empathy is not just a nicety, it is a cornerstone of healthy relationships. Those who lack this crucial trait will inevitably drain your energy and dampen your spirit. It's important to remember that Stoicism teaches us to remain indifferent to others' actions while focusing on our responses. However, this doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior. Instead, it encourages us to take decisive actions to maintain our tranquility. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By proactively identifying and distancing yourself from those who revel in your struggles, you are asserting control over your emotional landscape. This act of self-preservation is not selfish but necessary for leading a fulfilling life. Toxic individuals often try to manipulate your perceptions and emotions, subtly eroding your confidence and happiness. By recognizing their tactics, you empower yourself to break free from their negative influence. In our fast-paced world, it is easy to overlook these subtle yet significant indicators of an evil presence. We often prioritize external achievements over internal harmony, allowing negative influences to persist unchecked. However, by applying Stoic principles and fostering self-awareness, we can safeguard our mental and emotional health. The journey to a serene mind begins with understanding and eliminating the sources of unnecessary suffering in our lives. Thus, identifying someone who takes pleasure in others' pain is not merely an exercise in vigilance, but a crucial step towards achieving a balanced and harmonious life. By staying true to Stoic teachings and maintaining a compassionate yet discerning outlook, You can navigate your interactions with greater wisdom and resilience. This approach not only protects your well-being but also strengthens your resolve to live a life aligned with virtue and inner peace. Each step you take away from toxic individuals is a step towards self-empowerment and emotional freedom. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism, and remember that your well-being is in your hands. You deserve to be surrounded by those who genuinely care for your happiness and success, and by making conscious choices about your associations, you pave the way for a more fulfilling and serene life. Number 2. Need to control your life. One of the most glaring signs of an evil person is their overwhelming need to control your life. They thrive on power, feeling uneasy and impotent if they aren't dictating every aspect of their surroundings and the lives of those within their reach. These individuals will go to great lengths to ensure everything unfolds according to their desires, and they won't hesitate to abuse their power when faced with no opposition. Consider the boss who insists on scrutinizing every minute detail of your work. Their intent isn't to offer constructive feedback but to satisfy their compulsive need to control. Or think about that friend who always decides the venue, activity, and company, disregarding your preferences and opinions. Such behaviors reveal a suffocating obsession with control. These people often resort to manipulation to maintain their dominance, creating strict rules or employing emotional blackmail. Picture a partner who constantly monitors your whereabouts and communications, not out of concern, but to exert dominance over your life. This incessant need for control isn't just irritating, it can be hazardous. Those who wield such power often exploit and abuse it, causing significant harm to those around them. Recognizing these controlling behaviors is crucial for safeguarding your independence and emotional health. It's essential to set clear boundaries and take steps to distance yourself if someone is attempting to control every aspect of your life. Reflect on a time when you felt trapped by someone's need to control. How did it affect you? What actions did you take to reclaim your autonomy? Imagine a modern scenario where a young professional, Emma, faces a micromanaging boss. Every day, Emma's boss demands to review even the smallest tasks, not to guide her but to assert their control. This stifling environment starts affecting Emma's confidence and creativity. She feels increasingly powerless and stressed, dreading work each day. Emma decides to confront the situation by seeking advice from a mentor who encourages her to have an honest conversation with her boss about the impact of their behavior. Empowered by this advice, Emma sets up a meeting with her boss, expressing her need for more autonomy to perform at her best. This conversation is a turning point. Her boss gradually loosens their grip, and Emma regains her professional confidence and enthusiasm. This story highlights the importance of addressing controlling behavior head-on. It serves as a reminder that we have the power to change our circumstances, even when faced with domineering individuals. In dealing with controlling people, whether in professional or personal settings, it's essential to assert your boundaries and communicate your needs clearly. Engage with this thought. How would you handle a situation where someone tries to control your life? What steps would you take to ensure your independence and well-being? Your response to such scenarios defines your ability to maintain your autonomy and emotional health. Remember, reclaiming your power and setting boundaries is not just a defense mechanism. It's a vital step towards personal growth and maintaining a healthy, balanced life. To sum up, the need for control by evil people is a red flag that should never be ignored. Their behavior can be stifling and harmful, and recognizing it early can save you from prolonged distress. Setting boundaries and distancing yourself from such individuals is key to preserving your independence and emotional well-being. Always remember, your life is yours to control, and no one has the right to dominate it against your will. Embrace your autonomy, stand firm against controlling behaviors, and foster environments where respect and mutual understanding thrive. By doing so, you protect your peace and create a space for genuine, supportive relationships. Understanding the behaviors of those who find pleasure in others' pain or feel the need to control others can greatly impact our emotional well-being and personal growth. Have you ever had to deal with someone exhibiting these toxic traits? How did you manage to protect your peace and autonomy in those situations? Comment number 1 if you've encountered pleasure in others' pain, or number 2 if you've faced controlling behavior. Number 3. You feel strange when you're around them. Have you ever found yourself feeling uneasy, restless, or inexplicably tired around a particular person? It's like your body is trying to tell you something that your mind hasn't quite grasped yet. This sensation, this gut feeling, is not to be ignored. It's a natural instinct, a primal warning system honed over millennia, signaling that something is amiss. This discomfort often stems from the negative energy or malicious intentions emanating from the individual in question. Let's delve into this a bit deeper and understand why our instincts are so powerful and how they can protect us from potential harm. Imagine you're in a room and everything seems normal, but there's that one person who makes you feel drained just by being around them. This isn't mere coincidence or a figment of your imagination. Your body is picking up on subtle cues that your conscious mind might overlook. This is your survival instinct kicking in, a relic from our ancestors who needed to be acutely aware of their surroundings to stay safe. As Marcus Aurelius, a revered Stoic philosopher, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." These feelings of discomfort are not just obstacles but signals that something needs to change or be addressed. Consider this. Have you ever ignored these feelings, brushing them off as mere paranoia, only to later realize that the person indeed had harmful intentions? It's not uncommon. We often doubt our instincts, favoring rational explanations over what our bodies and emotions are telling us. But this skepticism can sometimes lead us into dangerous situations. This is why it's crucial to heed these feelings of unease. They're there for a reason, acting as an early warning system designed to protect us. Negative energy is palpable. Just as you can feel warmth from the sun or chill from the wind, you can sense negative vibes from people. This energy can manifest in various ways. Perhaps they have a constant frown, a dismissive attitude, or an aura of hostility. Their words might be laced with passive aggression or outright malice. Even their silence can be deafeningly oppressive. The discomfort you feel is your subconscious reacting to these signals, urging you to distance yourself from potential harm. To make this more relatable, think of times when you felt inexplicably anxious around certain people. These are not random occurrences, but your body's way of telling you to stay alert. Ancient Stoics like Epictetus taught that we must be vigilant about the company we keep. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best, he advised. This wisdom remains pertinent today. Being around individuals who exude negative energy can drain your mental and emotional resources, leaving you vulnerable and less capable of dealing with life's challenges. Have you noticed how some people seem to suck the joy out of a room the moment they enter? This isn't just a dramatic expression, but a real phenomenon. Their negative energy can spread like a contagion, affecting everyone in their vicinity. If you've ever walked away from an encounter feeling inexplicably weary, you've likely been in the presence of such a person. Recognizing this is the first step towards protecting yourself. As Seneca, another prominent Stoic, remarked, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This isn't about being judgmental, but about self-preservation and personal growth. Now let's pause and reflect. What can you do if you find yourself frequently feeling uncomfortable around someone? The first step is to trust your instincts. Acknowledge these feelings without dismissing them. Next, try to understand what specifically about the person makes you feel this way. Is it their behavior, their words, or perhaps an indefinable vibe they give off? Once you identify the source, you can take appropriate action, whether that means setting boundaries, limiting your interactions, or in some cases, cutting ties altogether. Engaging with your audience, I'd like to pose an open-ended question. Have you ever felt this way about someone in your life? How did you handle it? Sharing your experiences can not only help others recognize similar situations, but also foster a sense of community and support. Personal anecdotes can be incredibly powerful, as they remind us that we're not alone in our experiences and that our instincts are often more reliable than we give them credit for. Number 4. Lack of responsibility. One of the clearest signs of an evil person is their chronic refusal to take responsibility for their actions. This behavior is not just a minor character flaw, it's a significant red flag that can have profound negative impacts on those around them. These individuals will never admit their mistakes or accept the consequences of their actions. Instead, they constantly shift the blame onto others, creating a toxic environment where accountability is always deflected. This pattern of behavior is deeply manipulative and can erode your self-esteem over time. To understand the gravity of this, consider the wisdom of the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." An evil person will always react by blaming others, refusing to learn from their experiences, and never growing as a result. This refusal to take responsibility can manifest in various ways. At work, they may blame colleagues for their own missed deadlines. In personal relationships, they might accuse their partners of causing issues that they themselves initiated. And in social situations, they will always find someone else to point the finger at. Over time, this creates a breeding ground for mistrust and resentment, as their consistent failure to own up to their actions becomes evident to those around them. The impact on your mental health can be severe. Being around someone who never takes responsibility can make you question your own perceptions and judgments, leading to self-doubt and anxiety. You might find yourself constantly second-guessing your actions and wondering if you are to blame for the issues at hand. This erosion of self-esteem is a dangerous consequence of their manipulative behavior. To protect yourself, it's crucial to recognize this trait and take steps to distance yourself from such individuals. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic philosopher, advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In modern life, this means maintaining your own integrity and refusing to engage in the blame games that such individuals play. By doing so, you preserve your mental well-being and set a strong example of personal responsibility. Remember, you have control over your actions and responses, even if others do not. In practical terms, distancing yourself can mean setting clear boundaries with the individual, limiting your interactions, or, in some cases, severing ties altogether. It's about creating a space where you can thrive without the constant negative influence of someone who refuses to take responsibility. Surround yourself with people who are accountable, who learn from their mistakes, and who contribute positively to your life. By doing so, you foster a healthy environment that encourages personal growth and mutual respect. In conclusion, recognizing the lack of responsibility in others is vital for maintaining your mental health and well-being. This trait is a significant indicator of an evil person, and understanding its impact can help you make informed decisions about who to keep in your life. As Seneca wisely said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Prepare yourself by being vigilant and proactive in identifying toxic traits, and seize the opportunity to surround yourself with individuals who uplift and support you. By embracing personal responsibility and distancing yourself from those who do not, you can navigate life with greater confidence and peace of mind. Number 5. Have a habit of lying. When you're navigating through life, it's crucial to recognize the subtle signs that someone around you might not have your best interests at heart. Let's discuss one such sign in detail: the habit of lying. We've all encountered individuals who seem to have a chronic habit of bending the truth. They lie constantly, not just for small, insignificant matters, but in ways that manipulate situations and people around them for their benefit. This behavior is a glaring red flag. Lying indicates a total lack of respect for you and others, showing that they prioritize their own gain over honesty and integrity. Imagine a colleague who fabricates stories to take credit for your work, or to avoid blame for their mistakes. At first, these lies might seem harmless or even excusable. However, over time, the cumulative effect of their dishonesty can erode trust and damage relationships. Confronting these lies and assessing their impact on your life is essential for maintaining healthy relationships and a clear conscience. It's about recognizing that their dishonesty reflects their character and making a conscious decision about how much space and influence you allow them to have in your life. Sarah, a diligent professional, often found herself overshadowed by her co-worker, Mark. Mark had a knack for twisting facts, often taking credit for Sarah's ideas during meetings. Initially, Sarah dismissed these actions as misunderstandings or simple mistakes. However, as Mark's habit of lying became more apparent, Sarah realized that her efforts and contributions were being overlooked because of his deceit. This realization was painful, but it empowered her to confront the issue. By addressing Mark's lies directly and documenting her work more meticulously, Sarah reclaimed her rightful recognition and re-established her professional integrity. Such situations are not just limited to the workplace. In personal relationships, habitual liars can cause even deeper wounds. Imagine a friend who constantly lies to cover up their failures or to appear more successful. This behavior can create a toxic dynamic where trust is eroded and genuine connection becomes impossible. The Stoic approach to dealing with such individuals involves maintaining your composure, setting clear boundaries, and deciding the extent to which you will engage with them. It's about protecting your peace of mind and ensuring that your environment supports your growth and well-being. So, how do you deal with someone who has a habit of lying? The first step is self-awareness. Reflect on how their lies affect you and your relationships. Are you excusing their behavior out of loyalty or fear of confrontation? Recognizing the impact is the first step towards addressing it. Next, consider the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You cannot change their behavior, but you can control your response to it. Confront them with calmness and clarity, stating the facts without anger or accusation. This approach often disarms the liar, as they rely on emotional reactions to continue their deceit. Additionally, maintain a record of instances where their lies have affected you. This is particularly useful in professional settings where documentation can protect you from being unjustly blamed or overlooked. In personal relationships, having a clear account helps you see patterns and decide if the relationship is worth maintaining. Engaging in open-ended questions can help you navigate these situations more effectively. Ask yourself, how does this person's behavior align with my values? And what boundaries can I set to protect myself from their deceit? These questions prompt introspection and help you align your actions with your principles. A vital lesson here is the importance of integrity. As Stoics, we strive to live with virtue, embracing honesty, courage, and wisdom. Surrounding ourselves with people who share these values strengthens our resolve and supports our journey. Conversely, tolerating deceitful individuals can derail our progress and undermine our peace. In conclusion, recognizing the habit of lying in those around you is a crucial skill. It allows you to protect your integrity and maintain healthy relationships. By confronting lies with composure and setting clear boundaries, you can navigate these challenges effectively. Remember, your response to others' dishonesty defines your character. Uphold your values, protect your peace, and cultivate relationships that nourish your soul. In doing so, you embody the Stoic principles and live a life of virtue and wisdom. Building a resilient mindset is crucial. Surround yourself with people who validate your experiences and feelings, and who support your emotional well-being. Remember, a person who lacks remorse will never change without significant self-reflection and effort on their part, which they are unlikely to undertake. Thus, your priority should be to protect yourself. What measures can you put in place today to ensure that you are not vulnerable to the manipulations of someone who lacks remorse? How can you strengthen your emotional defenses and reaffirm your reality in the face of gaslighting and manipulation? In conclusion, recognizing the absence of remorse in someone is not just about identifying a single trait. It's about understanding a deeper, more dangerous pattern of behavior. It's about seeing through the manipulations and standing firm in your own truth. Remember the wisdom of the Stoics, and let it guide you in setting boundaries and maintaining your emotional health. As Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Want less of the toxic influences in your life, and seek more of the peace and clarity that come from living a life grounded in truth and self-respect. Thank you for being part of today's video. Before we proceed, I want to thank you for your participation in our community. Feel free to share your thoughts or simply comment, "I am a newbie" if you're new, or "I am a Stoic" if you've been around. Your interaction is a great source of motivation for us. Let's continue this journey together, shall we? Number 6. An absence of remorse. Imagine someone in your life who never seems to feel guilty about the hurt they cause others. This person might twist situations, manipulating facts and emotions to make you doubt your own perceptions and reality. They deflect blame, always painting themselves as the victim or the hero, but never the perpetrator. This lack of remorse isn't just a red flag, it's a glaring warning sign. People who lack remorse will consistently manipulate their surroundings and the people in their lives to serve their own ends, never caring about the emotional toll they inflict. As Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, wisely noted, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If someone's thoughts are perpetually self-serving and devoid of guilt or empathy, their actions will inevitably follow suit. Have you ever found yourself questioning your own sanity because someone made you feel that your feelings were invalid or your memories were wrong? This tactic, often referred to as gaslighting, is a common tool for those who lack remorse. They are skilled at making you feel uncertain, keeping you off balance, and, ultimately, under their control. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The emotional and psychological manipulation from someone who lacks remorse can make you live in a state of constant fear and self-doubt, suffering through imagined slights and misunderstandings they manufacture. When faced with an individual who exhibits no remorse, it's essential to set firm boundaries to safeguard your emotional well-being. Clear, unwavering limits are your best defense. Epictetus advised, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reaction to such a person should be one of protection and self-care. Do not engage in their manipulative games. Instead, focus on maintaining your own mental clarity and emotional stability. Reflect on your relationships. Do you know someone who consistently refuses to apologize, even when they're clearly in the wrong? Do they make you feel responsible for their actions, turning every situation around so that they emerge blameless? Consider how this impacts your mental and emotional health. Can you remember a time when their lack of remorse made you question your worth or sanity? A person who lacks remorse might show other troubling behaviors, such as deceit, cruelty, or a blatant disregard for others' feelings. These actions stem from a fundamental absence of empathy. As you think about these traits, ask yourself, what steps can you take to distance yourself from such toxicity? How can you build a support system that reinforces your reality and helps you maintain a healthy perspective? It's important to remember that while Stoicism teaches us to remain calm and composed, it does not advocate for passivity in the face of abuse or manipulation. On the contrary, Stoicism empowers us to take control of our responses and to protect our inner peace. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Do not let the negative influence of a remorseless person poison your thoughts and, consequently, your life. Think about the times when you've felt manipulated by someone who never showed remorse. How did their actions make you feel? Did you notice a pattern of behavior that seemed designed to keep you off balance and doubting yourself? How did you react, and what could you do differently now with this awareness? Number 7. Exhibit cruelty. Recognizing cruelty in people around you is crucial for maintaining your mental well-being and peace of mind. Individuals who exhibit cruelty are often aggressive and take pleasure in the suffering of others, revealing their true nature through their words and actions. These behaviors can be observed in coworkers who make malicious comments or friends who mock your insecurities, thereby creating a toxic environment. It is important to understand that such cruelty is not merely a sign of a bad day or a moment of weakness, but a deep-seated trait that can have severe repercussions on your mental health. According to Marcus Aurelius, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This quote emphasizes the importance of not stooping to the level of those who seek to harm you. In modern life, the workplace is one of the most common settings where such cruelty can be observed. A colleague who consistently undermines your efforts, spreads rumors, or makes you the butt of their jokes is not just being unprofessional, but is displaying a form of cruelty that can significantly impact your job satisfaction and performance. Similarly, in social circles, a friend who mocks your vulnerabilities or constantly belittles you is not a friend at all, but someone who seeks to elevate themselves by putting you down. This behavior is not only damaging to your self-esteem but can also lead to long-term emotional scars. It is vital to recognize these signs early and take steps to distance yourself from such individuals. As Seneca wisely noted, "He who dreads hostility too much is unfit to rule." In essence, fearing confrontation or the potential fallout from distancing yourself from a cruel person can lead to greater harm in the long run. To protect yourself, it is essential to set clear boundaries and communicate your discomfort when someone crosses the line. This can be challenging, especially if the person is a close friend or a superior at work. However, your mental health should always take precedence. Surrounding yourself with positive influences and those who respect and support you can help you build a resilient mindset. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This Stoic principle underscores the importance of controlling your reactions and not allowing the cruelty of others to dictate your emotions or actions. In today's fast-paced world, where stress and competition are rampant, encountering cruel individuals can be an unfortunate reality. However, by recognizing the signs and taking proactive steps to distance yourself, you can maintain your peace of mind and focus on your personal growth. Reflecting on the wisdom of Stoic philosophers can provide valuable insights and strategies for dealing with such challenges. As you navigate through life, remember that your well-being is paramount, and no one has the right to undermine it. By staying true to your values and seeking out positive relationships, you can create a supportive environment that fosters growth and happiness. Number 8. Warnings from friends and family. Imagine you're in a situation where your close friends and family, people who care about you the most, start voicing concerns about someone in your life. These warnings are invaluable because they stem from an external, impartial perspective, free from the biases that might cloud your own judgment. It's like having a team of guardians who have your back and want to protect you from potential harm. If multiple people are raising red flags about the same individual, it's a strong indication that you should be cautious and pay attention. Why would those who love you take the time to express their concerns if they didn't see something alarming? These warnings might be subtle at first, a casual comment here, a concerned look there, but they often point to something you might be missing. Maybe you're too close to the situation, or perhaps you're giving this person the benefit of the doubt because of your kind nature. But when the people who have known you the longest and understand your values start to worry, it's time to take a step back and reassess. Take the example of Emily, a young professional who recently moved to a new city for a job opportunity. She met Mark at a networking event, and they quickly became friends. Mark was charming, well-spoken, and seemed to have a magnetic personality. However, Emily's best friend, Sarah, who visited her for a weekend, felt uneasy about Mark. She mentioned that his stories didn't add up and he seemed overly interested in Emily's personal life. Emily dismissed it at first, thinking Sarah was just being overprotective. But then Emily's brother, who met Mark briefly, also expressed similar concerns. He noticed how Mark always seemed to steer conversations back to himself and never truly listened. Emily started paying closer attention to Mark's behavior. She noticed that he would often belittle her achievements subtly and was always eager to know her whereabouts and activities. These were things she brushed off initially, but now, with the warnings from her loved ones in mind, they started to appear as glaring red flags. Emily decided to distance herself from Mark, and later found out from a colleague that Mark had a history of manipulative behavior and exploiting friendships for personal gain. Trusting her friends' and family's warnings saved her from what could have been a very painful situation. In the teachings of Stoicism, we learn the importance of wisdom and discernment. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized the value of listening to others and considering their counsel. He said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed." Applying this wisdom means recognizing that our friends and family can sometimes see dangers that we are blind to, and their perspective can be a guiding light. So, how do we discern when to trust these warnings? It's essential to consider the source and the consistency of the feedback. Are these warnings coming from people who know you well and have your best interests at heart? Is the feedback consistent, coming from multiple people independently? These factors can help you determine the credibility of the warnings. Let's reflect on our own lives. Think about a time when you might have received a warning about someone. Did you heed it, or did you brush it off? How did the situation unfold? Engaging with these questions can help us become more attuned to the signs and make better decisions in the future. It's about balancing our trust in others with our own judgment and learning to listen without immediately dismissing concerns. In conclusion, the warnings from friends and family are like a safety net woven with care and love. They offer a perspective that we might lack, especially when we're too close to see the whole picture. By valuing these warnings and being open to the insights they provide, we protect ourselves from potential harm and foster a supportive environment where true friendships and relationships can thrive. The lesson here is clear. Trust the wisdom of those who care about you, and let their impartial perspective guide you toward safer and more fulfilling connections. Number 9. Contempt. One of the most insidious forms of emotional manipulation by a malicious individual is contempt. These individuals aim to make you feel inferior by criticizing your appearance, interests, dreams, and anything else they can target. Don't let such people alter your perception of yourself. Imagine having a partner who persistently criticizes your appearance, highlighting your physical flaws as if they were unforgivable faults. They might say things like, "You could be more attractive if," or "Why don't you dress better?" Such comments are not constructive. They are cruel and designed to undermine your self-confidence. Consider a friend who mocks your interests and passions, belittling your achievements and dreams as if they were not worthy of respect. They may laugh at your ambitions or interests, making you feel foolish for pursuing your goals. This type of contempt not only hurts, but also makes you doubt yourself and your abilities. People who exhibit contempt use it as a tool of emotional control, aiming to weaken your self-esteem so that you become dependent on them for validation and acceptance. They want to shape your self-perception according to their own interests and desires without respecting who you truly are. Don't allow these individuals to manipulate your self-image. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." You are valuable and deserve to be treated with respect and consideration. If someone constantly belittles you, it's a clear sign that they are not interested in your emotional well-being. Protect yourself by keeping your distance from those who seek to diminish you and instead seek relationships that promote your growth and happiness. Now, let's think about this. Have you ever felt this way? Have you had someone in your life who made you question your worth through their constant criticism? Reflect on how you felt in those moments and recognize that you deserve better. Share your thoughts with me. What steps can you take today to distance yourself from such toxic influences and foster more supportive and uplifting relationships? By acknowledging and addressing contempt, you are taking a crucial step towards a healthier, more positive life. So, what do you think? Can you identify any signs of contempt in your relationships? How will you confront and change them to protect your self-worth? Remember, Your well-being is paramount, and you have the power to shape your environment and choose the people who truly deserve to be in your life. Let's continue this journey together, sharing and learning from each other's experiences. As Seneca wisely said, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Let's be courageous and prioritize our emotional health. How will you take that courageous step today? Number 10. Animal abuse. Animal abuse is a glaring sign of a malevolent individual. Cruelty towards animals often signifies deeper issues within a person's character. If you know someone who acts abusively or neglectfully towards animals, it's wise to distance yourself from that person. As Seneca wisely noted, a man's true character comes out in how he treats those who can do nothing for him. Imagine a neighbor who frequently abuses their dog, yelling at and hitting it for any minor reason. These actions not only inflict suffering on the animal, but also reveal a profound lack of empathy and emotional control in the abuser. Such abusive behavior is not confined to animals and can easily extend to other areas of that person's life. Another stark example is someone who keeps their animals in deplorable conditions, neglecting their basic needs for food, hygiene, or health. This consistent neglect shows a complete disregard for the well-being and life of the animals under their care. These actions should never be ignored or minimized, as they highlight a dangerous aspect of the person's nature. Research has shown that cruelty towards animals is often linked to violent behaviors against humans. Recognizing these signs is crucial, and it's important to consider the broader impact of associating with someone who exhibits such traits. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts," implying that those who harbor cruel thoughts are likely to act on them. It's easy to overlook these warning signs when we are blinded by friendship, love, or respect for someone. However, it's essential to prioritize the safety and well-being of both animals and ourselves. If you suspect someone of being cruel to animals, it's crucial to take action. Distancing yourself is the first step, but if possible, report the behavior to appropriate authorities to protect the animals and prevent future harm. In modern life, this principle is especially relevant. We often encounter individuals whose true nature is hidden behind a facade of normalcy. Recognizing the signs of cruelty and acting on them can save not only the animals, but potentially humans from harm. Remember, the measure of a person is often seen in how they treat the defenseless. Reflecting on these points, if you know other signs of a bad person that haven't been mentioned here, share them in the comments. Your insights are valuable, and I'd love to read your opinions. If you've made it to the end of this discussion, write in the comments, "Good always triumphs over evil." If you found these insights valuable, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more wisdom. As Epictetus advised, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Let us embody the wisdom of recognizing and acting against the evil in our midst. Apply these and they'll give you priority. 7 powerful psychological strategies. Ever felt like you're just an option, not a priority in someone's life? Like you're always the one making the effort, but it's never reciprocated? We've all been there, and it's a tough pill to swallow. Now, Stoicism teaches us not to seek validation from external sources, as it's beyond our control. But what if I told you that you can flip the script? What if you could apply certain psychological strategies that not only get you noticed, but make you a top priority in someone's life? Imagine being the person everyone turns to for advice, the one they can't afford to lose. Picture your ideas getting the attention they deserve, your contributions being celebrated. It's not just a dream, it's achievable. Today we're diving deep into 7 game-changing strategies that will revolutionize how people perceive you. These aren't just tips, they're a roadmap to becoming indispensable. So stick around till the end, because each strategy is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Ready to transform your relationships and claim your rightful place as a priority? Let's dive in. Step 1. Create the fear of losing you. To make someone see you as a priority, one of the most effective psychological strategies is to create the fear of losing you. This approach taps into a fundamental aspect of human nature. People are often more driven by the fear of loss than by the prospect of gain. To make someone realize your value, begin by emotionally distancing yourself. Gradually reduce how much you share your feelings and confidences with them, and start spreading your time among other people. This shift will make them feel less central to your life, triggering the fear that they might lose their place in it. However, this technique must be handled with care and balance. Overdoing it might lead them to give up entirely on trying to maintain their relationship with you. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This underscores the importance of strategic and thoughtful action. To understand why this strategy works, consider the psychology of human relationships. When someone perceives that they might lose you, they are likely to reevaluate their behavior and prioritize your relationship more. It's akin to the adage, "You don't know what you have until it's gone." By subtly and carefully pulling away, you create a space for them to realize your worth. This strategy mirrors the concept of supply and demand. As the availability of your attention decreases, its value increases. In practical terms, start by becoming less available. If you were always quick to respond to messages or calls, take a little longer. Engage more in other social activities and let them see that your world doesn't revolve around them. This doesn't mean you should play games or be manipulative, but rather demonstrate that you have a full and engaging life. The aim is to make them aware that they are not the center of your universe, thereby prompting them to work harder to earn a place in it. Another facet of this strategy is to enhance your own value. Engage in activities that boost your self-worth and showcase your independence. This could be pursuing new hobbies, advancing your career, or improving your social skills. When they see you flourishing and being fulfilled without their constant presence, it ignites a sense of urgency and appreciation. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By focusing on your growth and well-being, you inadvertently make yourself more attractive and valuable to others. This technique is not about manipulation, but about fostering a healthy dynamic where mutual respect and appreciation thrive. It's essential to balance this distance with moments of genuine connection to maintain the relationship's warmth. Think of it like tending a fire. Too much wood at once smothers it, while too little lets it die out. Similarly, you must gauge when to pull back and when to re-engage to keep the flame of interest and priority alive. In modern life, this principle can be applied in various contexts, from personal relationships to professional environments. In the workplace, for instance, showing that you have other opportunities and are not entirely dependent on one job can make your employer value you more. In friendships, demonstrating that you have a diverse social network can encourage friends to make more effort to spend quality time with you. The key is to create a balance that underscores your independence while still maintaining meaningful connections. By employing this technique thoughtfully, you encourage others to recognize your value and make more effort to prioritize you. Remember, it's about creating a healthy dynamic where your worth is acknowledged and appreciated. In the words of Seneca, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Focus on enriching your own life, and let others rise to meet you. This approach not only helps in making you a priority, but also fosters a sense of self-respect and dignity that is crucial for any relationship. Step 2. Avoid being always available. In life, we've often heard the saying, quality over quantity, and this wisdom applies remarkably well to our relationships. If you want to be a priority in someone's life, sometimes you need to make yourself a little less available. When you're always there, always accessible, people might start to take you for granted. This isn't about playing games or being available only when it suits you, but about recognizing your own worth and ensuring that others do too. It's about finding the balance between being supportive and maintaining your individuality. Consider your relationships. If you always adjust your schedule to fit someone else's needs, always say yes to their requests and consistently make them your priority, You might inadvertently send the message that you don't have your own life or boundaries. This can lead to being undervalued and taken for granted. Instead, show that you have a vibrant, full life outside of the time you spend with them. Let them see that you're not just sitting around waiting for their call or their company. When people understand that your time is valuable, they will value your presence more. Think of Sarah, a young professional who was always available for her friends and family. No matter what time of day, if someone needed her, she would drop everything to be there. While this made her a reliable friend, it also led to burnout and a lack of appreciation for her efforts. Sarah decided to make a change. She started prioritizing her own needs, setting boundaries, and pursuing her hobbies and interests. She didn't become unavailable, but she balanced her availability with her own priorities. Over time, her friends and family began to notice and appreciate her more when she was around, valuing the time they had with her because they knew she had chosen to be there, rather than being there out of obligation. How often do we find ourselves in Sarah's shoes, feeling stretched thin because we're always available? What would happen if we took a step back and reassessed how we distribute our time and energy? By prioritizing ourselves, we can actually enhance the quality of our interactions and relationships. It's not about being selfish, it's about self-care and mutual respect. So, as you navigate your relationships, remember this. Being less available isn't about neglecting others, but about valuing your own time and ensuring others do the same. By finding a balance, you can create deeper, more meaningful connections where your presence is truly valued. Take this lesson to heart and consider how you can apply it to your own life. How can you better balance your availability to enhance the quality of your relationships? In the end, the key takeaway is simple yet profound. Prioritize yourself to teach others to value you. It's about quality over quantity, not just in how you spend your time, but in how you allow others to spend their time with you. By being mindful of your availability, you can cultivate relationships where you are genuinely appreciated, leading to a more fulfilling and balanced life. Step 3. Maintain some mystery. People are inherently drawn to mystery. There's something deeply fascinating about the unknown that captures our imagination and keeps us coming back for more. This is a principle that can be incredibly useful in relationships. When you maintain an air of mystery about yourself, you become more intriguing and captivating to those around you. This doesn't mean you should be secretive or deceptive, but rather that you should avoid revealing everything about yourself right away. Instead of laying all your cards on the table, give hints about your hobbies and interests without going into too much detail. For example, if someone asks about your weekend, you might say, "I spent it doing something I love," rather than detailing every activity. This vague answer piques curiosity and invites further inquiry, keeping the conversation alive and dynamic. When you answer questions about your past, do so with a touch of ambiguity. Instead of recounting every detail, share just enough to satisfy immediate curiosity while leaving some aspects open-ended. This strategy keeps the other person intrigued and eager to learn more about you, fostering a deeper connection over time. As they invest more energy in uncovering your layers, they'll begin to see you as a priority in their lives. Remember the words of Socrates. Wisdom begins in wonder. By nurturing this sense of wonder, you create a magnetic pull that keeps others engaged and interested. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever found yourself captivated by someone who didn't reveal everything about themselves right away? How did that make you feel? Did it make you more eager to spend time with them and learn more about their story? This is the power of maintaining some mystery. It's a subtle yet effective way to enhance your presence and allure. By embracing this strategy, you invite others into a journey of discovery, making every interaction with you a memorable and meaningful experience. Step 4. Allow them to invest in you. This step requires a delicate balance as you want to draw people closer, not push them away. Ask yourself, who is more likely to see you as a priority, Someone who has invested a lot in you, or someone who hasn't? The answer is clear. To be seen as a priority, you need to let others invest in you, but this should be done thoughtfully and sparingly. Start by allowing them to invest their time in you. For instance, if you have plans you know you can't fulfill, don't be afraid to turn them down, showing that your time is precious. This action communicates that you are not always readily available, making them work a bit harder for your attention. It's similar to what Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions but in having few wants." By valuing your time and being selective about your availability, you emphasize its importance, leading others to see you as a challenge and prioritize you. Additionally, creating a sense of exclusivity around your presence can make people value their interactions with you more. When people have to wait for your time, it sends a message that you are not just anyone, enhancing their perception of your worth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By presenting yourself as someone worthy of investment, you change how others perceive and prioritize you. However, this technique must be used moderately. If overdone, it can backfire and make you appear aloof or disinterested. The key is to strike a balance where people feel that investing in you is worthwhile, but not burdensome. In modern life, where time is often our most valuable resource, showing that you value yours sets a powerful precedent. People will begin to see you as someone whose time is worth their investment. As a practical example, think about relationships in a professional setting. By allowing colleagues to invest in you through mentorship or collaboration, you build a network of support and respect. However, always be mindful not to appear too demanding or unavailable, as this can alienate those whose support you seek. Balancing investment with accessibility ensures that you remain a priority without overwhelming those around you. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." By allowing others to invest in you, while also valuing your own time and presence, you create a dynamic where mutual respect and prioritization flourish. This principle applies to all areas of life, from personal relationships to professional engagements, helping you maintain a position of respect and priority. Step 5. Prioritize your needs. Prioritizing your needs doesn't mean being selfish. It means valuing yourself enough not to accept anything less than what you deserve. Imagine you're at a gathering, and you sense that someone there doesn't appreciate or respect you. Why invest your energy into someone who won't treat you as a priority? By consciously choosing to be around people who genuinely value and respect you, you increase your chances of being seen as a priority. Remember, you can't control how others feel about you, but you have complete control over how you feel about yourself. Think about Sarah, a dedicated professional who always put others before herself. She found herself constantly drained and unappreciated, whether it was staying late at work to help colleagues or sacrificing her weekends for friends who didn't reciprocate. One day, Sarah decided enough was enough. She began setting boundaries, politely declining extra work that wasn't hers, and only spending time with friends who valued her. This shift wasn't easy, but it was transformative. Sarah's newfound confidence and self-respect attracted positive attention and respect from others. She became a priority in her own life, and consequently, others started treating her with the same importance. So, how can you start prioritizing your needs today? Begin by reflecting on your relationships and asking yourself, do these people see my worth? If the answer is no, it might be time to distance yourself and seek connections that uplift and respect you. This doesn't mean cutting people off abruptly, but rather gradually focusing your time and energy on those who see your value. It's crucial to establish boundaries that protect your well-being and prioritize your needs. Another powerful strategy is self-care. Taking time for activities that rejuvenate and fulfill you is essential. Whether it's reading a good book, going for a walk, or meditating, these moments of self-care reinforce the message that you matter. When you prioritize self-care, you signal to yourself and others that your needs are important. Reflect on how you spend your time and who you spend it with. Are your actions aligned with your values and goals? If not, make the necessary changes. This might mean saying no more often or setting aside dedicated time for your passions and interests. Now let's think about your professional life. Are you taking on too many responsibilities that others should handle? Learning to delegate tasks can be a game changer. It allows you to focus on what truly matters to you and showcases your leadership and organizational skills. By managing your workload effectively, you show that you respect your time and capabilities, encouraging others to do the same. What about your personal growth? Are you investing in yourself through learning and development? Prioritizing your personal growth sends a powerful message to yourself and others that you are committed to becoming the best version of yourself. Consider setting aside time each week to learn something new or improve a skill. This not only enhances your abilities but also boosts your confidence and self-worth. By embracing these practices, you cultivate a life where you are the priority. It's about making conscious choices that align with your values and needs. As you prioritize yourself, you'll notice a shift in how others perceive and treat you. You'll attract relationships and opportunities that respect and value your worth. So ask yourself, what steps will you take today to prioritize your needs? How will you ensure that you are always a priority in your own life? By making these changes, you'll not only enhance your own well-being but also inspire others to see and treat you with the respect you deserve. Remember, being a priority starts with you. Embrace it and watch your life transform. Step 6. Don't make them the center of your life. You've likely heard the saying, "The grass is always greener on the other side." This phrase speaks to a fundamental aspect of human nature. We tend to desire what we cannot easily obtain. This principle is particularly relevant in relationships. People are often more attracted to things they perceive as slightly out of reach. By not making someone the absolute center of your life, you maintain a healthy distance that can actually increase their interest in you. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about fostering a sense of independence and self-worth. When you prioritize your own interests, goals, and well-being, you communicate that you are a whole and complete person who values their own company. This confidence and self-assuredness are incredibly attractive. It sends a clear message that you are not desperate for attention or validation, which paradoxically makes others more eager to seek your company and approval. As Oscar Wilde wisely noted, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. By cultivating a rich and fulfilling life independently, you naturally become more appealing to those around you. Consider your own experiences again. Have you ever been more attracted to someone who seemed to have their own life and passions? Someone who wasn't always available, but when they were, their presence was vibrant and engaging? This dynamic creates a balance of closeness and distance that keeps the relationship fresh and exciting. It also ensures that you remain true to yourself, which is essential for long-term happiness and fulfillment. By applying these strategies, maintaining some mystery, and not making others the center of your life, you position yourself as someone who is confident, intriguing, and self-sufficient. These qualities are universally attractive and can significantly enhance the way others perceive you. You'll find that people are more likely to prioritize you when they see that you prioritize yourself. So how will you start incorporating these strategies into your life today? What steps can you take to cultivate a sense of mystery and independence that draws others toward you? Remember, the journey of becoming a priority begins with valuing yourself first. Step 7. Stop initiating communication all the time. If you often find yourself initiating communication with someone important in your life, it may be time to take a step back. This may seem counterproductive, because if you want to become a priority in someone's life, shouldn't you be the one to initiate communication? The answer is no. When you're always the one initiating communication, the other person starts taking you for granted. They get used to your efforts and begin to see you as less important. So what's the alternative? Simply stop initiating communication and see the result. If the other person truly cares about you, they will make an effort to get in touch. Ceasing to initiate communication constantly can significantly shift the dynamics in your relationships. While it may seem counterintuitive, the reality is that by always being the first to reach out, you unintentionally set a precedent where your presence and efforts are undervalued. This concept echoes a fundamental principle in human psychology. Scarcity increases value. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Instead of incessantly seeking validation through frequent contact, allow the natural course of the relationship to reveal itself. By stepping back, you create an opportunity for the other person to demonstrate their genuine interest and commitment. To elaborate, imagine you are in a conversation where you consistently initiate. Over time, the other person may start expecting this and not feel the need to reciprocate equally. This imbalance can lead to feelings of frustration and being undervalued. Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." By learning to restrain from always being the first to communicate, you are practicing a form of self-respect and teaching others how to treat you. When you refrain from initiating, you give the other person the space to miss your presence and realize your value, potentially strengthening the bond through mutual effort. In the modern hustle and bustle, we often feel compelled to maintain constant contact to stay relevant in others' lives. However, taking a step back can be a powerful strategy to enhance your importance. Think of it like a great book that leaves you wanting more after each chapter. The anticipation builds appreciation. Similarly, by not always being available, you create a sense of intrigue and value around your presence. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have, as Epictetus remarked. Focusing on your own growth and interests while allowing others to reach out to you can foster healthier, more balanced relationships. Furthermore, this approach isn't about playing hard to get or manipulating emotions. It's about fostering genuine connections where both parties invest equally. When you give someone the chance to initiate, you are also respecting their autonomy and showing confidence in your self-worth. This subtle shift can transform how you are perceived, making you more respected and valued. Just as a rare gem is cherished more than a common stone, your occasional absence can make your presence more precious. In conclusion, stepping back from always initiating communication is a profound yet simple strategy to enhance your significance in others' lives. It encourages mutual effort, respect, and appreciation, key components of any strong relationship. As you practice this, remember the wisdom of ancient philosophers who emphasized self-respect and value. "He who is brave is free," said Seneca, and in the same vein, freeing yourself from the need to constantly initiate can lead to more fulfilling and balanced relationships. Embrace this approach with confidence and observe how it transforms the dynamics of your interactions, allowing those who truly value you to show their appreciation through their actions. As we conclude this enlightening journey through the 7 powerful psychological strategies to become a priority in others' lives, I invite you to reflect on the wisdom we've unearthed today. Remember, your worth is not determined by someone else's priorities. Take these moments of feeling overlooked as catalysts for your own growth and self-improvement. Prioritize yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep sense of self-compassion and self-determination. By doing so, you'll find that the world around you starts to reflect the value you've always known you possess. If this video has resonated with you, I encourage you to hit the like button, subscribe to Stoic in Your Life, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps us build a community where ancient philosophy meets the modern hustle. And don't forget to share this video with others who might benefit from these insights. Until next time, continue to prioritize yourself and live a life rich in Stoic wisdom. Thank you for being a part of this Stoic journey. See you soon.